we have a Big East matchup. We have St. John's, which is still very much in the hunt to clinch the Big East regular season title. At home, 7.5-point favorite against Villanova. This is a Saturday evening game. What's your take on this one, Jason?
Man, that St. John's UConn game is honestly one of the more shocking games. Like, not that
you have to throw it away. You have to.
And that's kind of where I sit. Is I feel like not only do you have to throw it away, but you have to imagine Rick Pitino was as fired up and like pissed off, and practice was as horrible as you could imagine.
Wait, Rick Pitino doesn't get mad, doesn't he? He seems like a pretty relaxed, low-key guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine in his old age. Like here, I'm just gonna look there. Like if you watch that game, but I'm gonna like say I'm looking at the stats from that game. Like the effective field goal percentage for those out there, combines 2 and 3 pointers for St. John's in that game was 24.1%. 24%. This is like a high school game on a bad shooting team type of performance. They were 6 of 36 from 2-point range in that game. We know they went the last 17 minutes plus without a field goal.
I think it was 24 straight missed field goal attempts in that game.
Like if you go pull up like their stats from every game and look at their shooting performance every game, this one is such an outlier. It's like they aren't a great offensive team. That's not St. John's. Shooting is not St. John's like biggest strength. They'll get on the boards, they'll create turnovers. That's the other thing. They didn't create turnovers. So they didn't create like those opportunities. Is one of their lowest turnover forced games of the year as well. So it was a bad combo of. Because the other game where they didn't create turnovers was actually Alabama early in the year. They lost that one in a shootout, but they at least shot okay. This game combined both elements of things that like probably drive Rick Pitino crazy, which is they had no chaos and turnovers created, no easy baskets, and then they shot horribly, and their offense was terrible. So I'm just playing on the bounce back here. I'm playing on that this game was such an outlier that it wasn't just like a trending down. They've been bad on offense for so many games in a row. This game was literally the game. It's the NFL game. It's the on to Cincinnati game. This is the on to Villanova. If Bill Belichick was in the press conference room, he'd be like, "We're on to Villanova." He would have been that pissed, right? And that's kind of where we're at. It was like losing 30-something to nothing on the road, getting shut out, and not even getting on the opponent's side of the field. It was that bad. And so I think they come out in this one and they cover the spread. I'll take them over Villanova team. I think St. John's will be ready at home.
Yeah, and so I mentioned it, and I put the graphic up there. St. John's minus 7.5. I don't know if that was a mistake or the line moved, but good news, it's minus 5.5. What I just saw. Okay. I just looked that up live on Double Check the Lines, DraftKings, and FanDuel. It is widely available under the 2 possessions there. So I'm assuming you like that even more so now.
That's probably the number I like. Yeah, I would say like 7 to 7.5 is actually like the number I would have it like straight up. I just like it for motivational factors. If you can get it like below 6, I love it. I love St. John's. I just can't imagine if they lay another egg, there's bigger concerns there. But just the extreme nature of how embarrassing that was. I just can't. They're going to be so fired up. Like they're not going to have a game where they have under 10% turnovers forced. They've only done it twice previously to this game in this year. Then they're certainly not going to have a game where they're anywhere close to 24% effective field goal percentage. They've still been over 50% most games. I mean, the last time they had a game semi as embarrassing as this, I don't know that they had any that were truly as embarrassing as this one. There's no comparison. But the last time they didn't force turnovers, they didn't force that many turnovers against Butler in Big East play. That was their third lowest. This, of course, being number 2 behind the Alabama game. They bounced back the next game and put 2 straight games up of 20% plus turnover rate against the opponent, including their win over UConn a week later after that performance. So UConn was fired up. UConn did all the things they didn't do the first time they played St. John's. I just think this is throw it out, and not only throw it out, count on Patino to have these guys attacking everything this game, getting to the glass, trying to create turnovers. And Villanova happens to be the team, and it's a big game. You can get them fired up. You're not playing the bottom of the league in a bounce back game. You're playing a team that could beat you if you show up again and don't show out. And so I think Patino's going to be all over these guys.
Right. And St. John's -5.5 is the pick there.